All right, welcome back to LearnWire. This is going to be video 10 of our AI niche website case study build, right? And so this is one of the videos you guys have probably been waiting for, where we're going to be getting to the ZimmWriter content. And so we're going to be creating 100 articles right now really quickly with ZimmWriter. And then I'm going to have to do a little bit different process because there's no auto uploader with ZimmWriter that you will see with Agility and Koala. And so I'm going to have to assign my VA to kind of upload these in a different way. The nice thing about Koala and Agility is that at the push of a button, they automatically get published in draft mode. We can come over here and look at the site right now. This is the back end of the site. And you'll be able to see right now, if I push refresh, right now, just working on the site for a couple of days, we have 101 articles in draft mode right here. We have 35 articles scheduled right now, and you'll be able to see if we click on the scheduled button over here, you'll be able to see that we'll come over here to right now, today is May 17th. So you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, and one's already gone out today. So then now look at May 18th tomorrow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the next day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the next day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got about 5 articles going out each day, every few hours or so. And there's a real simple process that I have my VA that's basically just adding an image and, doing a couple little SEO things to the blog post. Not much though, only spending about 3 to 5 minutes per post before we go ahead and schedule the post. You can see we already have published 24 articles on the site, 35 scheduled right now, and then now they're going to be working on these next 101. And then what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be going in and publishing 100 more articles, at least getting them written. So I just now updated my ZimmWriter software. So I'm going to pull that up right now. You'll be able to see right here. One thing, maybe it's in the settings, but I thought that it was going to automatically size this time to, I think it was supposed to be like 60 or 80% of your screen. I'm not seeing that happen. Maybe, and just, I apologize ahead of time, guys. I'm not as, how do I say this in the most, like the nicest way? ZimmWriter is great and everything, but I'm not really using it as much as, there's probably going to be people watching my videos that actually use ZimmWriter on a daily basis or have built full sites with ZimmWriter, and I haven't been one of those guys yet. So you'll just have to bear with me, right? So there might be some things that I don't really know about the software, and I'm not claiming that I'm an expert at using ZimmWriter, but we certainly are going to be using it as closely to in the same fashion that we're using the other writers, just using the bulk writer, right? There's all kinds of other features in here, and there's all kinds of different updates. I'm not going to do a full review right now, but you can see that they've added in scraping. Let's see right over here. Where is it? There is definitely scraping in here. Start. So scrape URLs only. There's scrape URLs plus start SEO writer, and so forth, right? So you're going to have to watch some tutorial videos to get up to speed on like the latest version and how to use the software, because it continues to evolve and change a lot, right? And so, but today we're going to be using just the bulk writer. But I guess I was just trying to allude to the fact that I have used ZimmWriter to write for another site as well. And just, I find myself always trying to find ways to get the content on the site, kind of workarounds, things like that. And so for me, just personally using the three, and this isn't like a comparison between the three softwares. Like I said, ZimmWriter is great and it's going to rank up there in S tier for me. So that's saying a lot when I've reviewed over 100 AI softwares. ZimmWriter is in S tier currently still, but even inside that small list of S tier softwares, for me and my workflow process, Koala and Agility just do it for me. And if you have the budget, those two softwares I think are going to be just slightly better when it comes to the ease of use in the workflow. You're going to be able to get your content on your sites extremely fast. And so I would just say that. So what we're going to do with ZimmWriter right now is we're going to go and click, and I guess that was what I was really getting at, is that like if I go over to options menu, maybe there's something that I'm missing over here. I just want to see API. Let's see right here. Disable all keywords used in file. And I don't see yeah, I don't see an option to make the screen bigger. And I thought that it was going to automatically, I thought I heard Matt say that we would be able to get it to be bigger on our screen. That's one of my kind of complaints, is that it's just this little tiny dashboard on the screen for us. And so just for my style and my taste, it would be nice to be a little bit bigger. But those are just some critiques. You know, I try to critique all the softwares and be unbiased. I'm an affiliate of ZimmWriter and I've made a lot of sales, but it doesn't hold me back of just stating the things that I may not like about it. But of course, it's just one piece of software and it's just one person's opinion. Of course, people absolutely love ZimmWriter. And at the end of the day, does it create high quality content? Absolutely. And that's all that matters. Okay, so let's get into this part right here. I'm going to go into the bulk blog writer. Okay, and then let me see if I can zoom in, push the plus button. See, I'm pushing control plus and I'm not able to zoom into this software. And so I will try to zoom in on my editing. I usually don't do a whole lot of editing in my videos, but I'll try to zoom in so you guys can see the settings and stuff. But what we're going to do this first part, which is super, super cool, and this would actually be one of the things that ZimmWriter will definitely take the cake and be better at any other writer that I've seen, including my new two favorites, Koala and Agility, is that you're only able to, in Agility, you're only able to do 100 articles at a time. I mean, sorry, no, I take that back. You're only able to do 50 articles at a time in Agility. And we already have the rest of those actually being created right now as we speak as well. I can go into Agility right now. I already sent all these articles over here and they've been I can go over to the history and you can see that they're all in progress right now. And so it's out there busy writing for us. We've got Agility writing another 50 articles for us right now. But the really, really cool thing is with ZimmWriter is that, and then Koala, I think you're able to do quite a few. How many are you able to paste in there? I think you're able to paste unlimited, but I would never do more than a couple hundred at a time. Honestly, I don't think I've ever done more than 100 on any tool before. Right now, we're going to test the limits a little bit on ZimmWriter, and we're going to do 100 articles right out of the gate. And so what we're going to do is go over to our keywords, right? Our keyword list. And if I hover over just the keyword list right here, you'll see if I go to the lower right-hand corner on the screen, you'll see that we're at 301 keywords that we have. And the top line up here, number 1, is not counted. So we have exactly 300. We have 100 articles that we're writing with Agility. We have 100 articles that we're writing with Koala. You can see all the content that we have written right now. We're at 200. So we just have 100 left to write. And that's all the ZimmWriter right here. I've already assigned all the categories that my VA will go ahead and go and just double check this stuff. And we already have our meta description, which I did the meta descriptions in ChatGPT-4. And that's where I was able to get all the meta descriptions ready to go. So it just makes it super, super easy. I just need some help. I just need my VA to go in and publish these for me, right? And it saves me time. So we're going to go over here at ZimmWriter. I'm going to go grab right here and I'm going to go ahead and just drag and drop all these keywords and I'm going to go copy. And notice these are very straightforward questions that we're going to be answering on the site. And so I'm going to go back over to ZimmWriter, and then we're going to paste these 100 articles in here. I don't know if there's any commas or anything like that. I think I try to keep up as much as I can. The ZimmWriter Facebook community is so fast. There are dozens of posts per day, so it's really hard to actually stay on top without making a big part of your day actually being on Facebook and following. So that's just not my style. It's not really what I do. But I do think I also read something about Matt also in this latest we are in 7.07. Let me come back up over here. We are in 7.07, the latest version of ZimmWriter right now. And I just updated that today. And I believe that he said he got rid of the issue where if there was like different symbols, either commas or something like that, that it would split it up and make it into 2 articles. I believe that that's not even an issue anymore at all. So we should be able to see 100 articles right here. Let's go over the settings right over here as well. So when we got the settings, I'm going to actually, this defaults at 5, but I'm actually going to take this down to 4. And then with the medium, I'm going to take this down to, I almost want these to be smaller posts. I'm going to go with tiny, because, ZimmWriter, Koala, and Agility tend to write really long articles, generally speaking. More so even, I would say, agility and ZimmWriter. I have seen Koala write a lot of 800 to 1200 word articles, and then it can bust out with a pretty long article at 3000 words. But more consistently, I see ZimmWriter and agility tend to want to write longer articles. And so I'm actually going to just experiment on this on the first run even. Let's go and write 4 H2s. We're going to keep it at tiny. I'm going to select professional. We could go with third person. We're going with third person on the site in general, but I think that even just going with professional is going to take it even one notch. It's going to be third person personal, or professional, sorry. Tongue twister there. So we're going to go with professional there. I'm going to go with the literary devices. We're going to go with enable lists and tables, and I don't want an FAQ on this. These ones, actually, I don't want these to be long articles. Mid-Journey prompt, we're not doing that because I actually have a different way. I'm actually using Creative Commons images because it's just going to take more time and so forth, maybe on the next go around. The deal is, guys, is that we're doing an experiment to see if this content will rank. The image itself is really not going to make or break, in my opinion, if we rank or not. And so in order to do the Mid-Journey, I'd have to set my VA up with a Mid-Journey account, and it's going to take more time for them to go out and start using Mid-Journey and so forth. So it's just not something I really want to do with this experiment right here. And then another thing that we can do is that the specificity of this gardening site and some of the questions that are being asked, we're able to go and actually find a lot of Creative Commons images. We make sure that we have the license to use them. So I have kind of a process. If they can't find an image at the end of the day that's very specific and that has Creative Commons or royalty free, right, then they go over to basically Pixels or Pixabay or Unsplash, and they can basically just grab a generic gardening image and put it on there. So I think I have a pretty good process for that. It takes care of the image for me, so I don't really need the Mid-Journey prompt right now. But I do think that this is one of the coolest features that ZimmWriter has that none of the other AI softwares. So they get a huge leg up and an A+ for the Mid-Journey prompt that they include, because you're able to just copy that, go throw it in Mid-Journey. And so if I'm doing more customization and more hands-on the site, and these 100 articles, I'm going to be less hands-on. And so that's why I'm not going to select that. But if I was going to be very hands-on, then we would include that, and I would use that myself or train my VA to use that. I hope that makes sense. And that's a little bit of what some of you also follow. So I'm going to skip over that. I have the image basically taken care of, nonetheless, a featured image. Enable T's, no. Enable H3s, 20% chance to incorporate H3s. Let's go ahead and do that, actually, because it's only going to happen on one of these, most likely. And we're not doing FAQs. We're sticking with tiny, and we only have 4. So I think that it would be good to go ahead and enable that as well. Audience personality, I'm not really sure. I think maybe Explorer. If we go over here, creator, there isn't anything that's like super closely related, but I would say probably the explorer type person that's going out there gardening. I don't know. I'm just going to stick with that. Right in the style of, if I had a famous gardener, we would put them right there, but I don't know of any, right? So I'm going to actually leave that alone. Use auto style, right in the style of the most trusted person to write about. So that's a good one. If you don't know what to put up here, you either put something here or you put something here. I believe you either get an error or whatever. You're not able to do both. So I think it's probably more standard to just go ahead and just click this one, use auto style. It's going to know, the AI is going to know who the smartest person is on the topic, and it's just going to go ahead and write in that style. Automatic keywords, absolutely. Boost chance of AI detection, no, not doing that. Disable skinny paragraphs. We want the skinny paragraphs. Disable active voice, and I'll just leave the default the way it is. Enable progress indicator. I like that. Output in non-English language. Don't need that. Use best of. So if you want it to write 2 articles and then get the best content, use the best of 2 for H2 plus fact warning multiplies times 2. I just don't think I need to do that. I'm not going to do that. And then so I don't know where you guys are at. If you guys are using this AI and choosing, there's a lot of discrepancy or confusion on the difference between DaVinci 003 and GPT 3.5 Turbo. You can literally go to OpenAI's site and they will literally say that the two of them are the same. Only GPT 3.0 Turbo, 3.5 Turbo is way faster and it costs 10 times less. However, that is exactly what OpenAI actually puts on their site. You can actually go and look it up. But in the Facebook group in ZimmWriter, and this comes up all the time. Which one should you use? Which one should you use? Now, GPT-4, I'm not using that because I don't have access on OpenAI to that. So I have to choose between the two. But I've heard it more times than not that people have seen that the quality of the text and the flow seems to be a little bit better with the DaVinci 003. I'm going to trust people and just go with that. It's not going to hurt whatever one you select. Only the DaVinci 003 is going to cost just a little bit more money. We're talking pennies, the difference. And then also it may yield a higher result, a higher quality result. So if that's the case, I'm going to stick with DaVinci 003. All right, so I think we have all this. So then now what we do is we start Bulk Writer. It's going to do this test for us, and I'm going to scroll down, and we should have 100 articles. We have 100. It worked flawlessly. This part is really fun. I like to see this. And then everything looks good right here. We're just answering a bunch of questions, and then I confirm I want to proceed. So I'm going to push this, and ZimmWriter is going to go to work. Okay, I'm ready to write your 100 articles. I'm going to write them in the background and suppress any errors which might end up happening, blah, blah, blah. And each article will take between 3 and 7 minutes. More articles means more minutes. Very clear, but he states for some people that just have questions, I like that there's that like prompt there. So push OK. And ZimmWriter is going to go and write for us. Okay, so we should see something come up over here on the bottom right hand when it gets started, and you'll see it just popped up right there, writing blog post number 1. I have 100 to go, so this is going to be on my machine the next few hours. It's going to probably take 3 hours, I would estimate, or more. If let's just say it's going to take 5 minutes per article. Yeah, so it's going to get about 10 articles done per hour. So this is actually going to take about 10 hours to get these 100 articles written, but it would take the same amount of time. So that's, as far as speed wise, I can tell you that Koala and Agility aren't any faster. And so that seems to be the trend of, I don't know, people want things just right away. I want it to be faster and stuff, but really I don't mind the speed. We have to go back in time and just really realize what it was like a year or two ago when we didn't have this technology. You wouldn't even be able to dream of getting 100 articles written in 10 hours. You would have to hire 100 writers to each write an article, and it would cost you $30 to $50 per article. So we've got the money, the budget, and affordability is on our side, and time is on our side. So to me, it actually annoys me in the Facebook group when people want more and more and more from Matt, the founder, coder, and creator, and brilliant mind behind ZimmWriter. To me, it's actually annoying. I think that there's a time and a place to request for new features. But when it's just ask and ask and ask and ask for a lifetime software, that some people are on the monthly plan, but even $10 a month, and a lot of people have the lifetime access. We're getting our money's worth, again and again and again. And we just need to kind of take a step back, let Matt do his thing, give him some room to breathe a little bit. And we're just always wanting and asking for more and more. Now, from a coder's perspective and a product creator's perspective, it can be a really good thing to see what people are wanting. And then you can see trends. Okay, yeah, like 10 people asked this the same day of launch. Maybe I need to add that in. Things like that, right? So it's always, there's kind of a balance, but I think that there's sometimes been a little bit of an unhealthy balance where it's the scale's overweighted a little bit on asking for more and more and more from the software. So that's just me going off on a little rant about just kind of like what's, kind of going on in the Facebook group. I'm sure a lot of you are involved with it as well. But at the end of the day, what is the software doing for us? It's creating 100 articles today for us, which is just insane. And then, I have a VA, and so they'll be able to go in and get all this content created. So by next week, we'll literally have a website in this case study with 300 articles scheduled to post. They're not going to all be on the site. I did the math. It's going to be at a rate of about 150 articles are going to be published per month. And so in 2 months, 8 weeks, we're going to have 300 articles on the site. Now, I need to think about the, interlinking and so forth. Once we get about 50 to 100 posted, then I will go in there. I'll probably use, Link Whisperer, and we'll go in and we'll start doing internal linking on the site. I also need to get some backlinks going, right? Some profile links, some foundation style links to the homepage of the site, and then kind of ease our way up into getting some, PBNs or some guest post type backlinks as well. So there's still going to be a lot more progress and things to do about the site. But as far as this massive kind of influx or a flurry of the first 10 videos where we actually have the site up and running, that is going to slow down. I'll probably slow down the updates to maybe once a week or once every month at this point, because we really have a solid foundation on the site. I can go over here and just refresh. You'll be able to see this is what the site looks like right now. I am zoomed in right now, so I can actually kind of zoom out a little bit. But we have our, our main content pillar post. I actually have added a couple more. I've added one more, and it's actually called other. I've actually added two more. I added tools and I added other. And so I need to go and add those, but I'll add those in the background. But and then I have a couple more articles to write right here for the front page. But other than that, you're going to see just content is just flying on the site. And we need to get this indexed, and we'll see in the coming months, right? It's a slow process. See if Google takes to this. You can see that the first article just finished while I'm talking to you guys. So you'll see kind of what the speed is. It's on to post number 2, and it's just going to take some time to get going. But what I'll do, you guys are probably asking how I'll disperse this to my VA. There's 2 different ways. One, I could go into Google Drive and create a folder, upload all these to that folder, and then also have another folder that just says published. And then basically the VA would click on each one, open it up, go and publish it over here, and then drag and drop it over. So we would always know what's in the queue. Even simpler way is depending on what the file size is. And actually I can go into where we manage our team management software, and I don't have any limit on the files that I can upload. So what I'll probably do is I will add all 100 of these and I'll zip them in a zip file, and then I'll upload that to my team management software, and then I'll have them just unzip that, and then I'll just tell them to keep track and publish each one. So I'll make like a 5-minute video on just kind of what I want them to do, and then that's it. 5 minutes of work. You saw the 5 minutes of going and copying and pasting these right here, and then going and getting the VA, and then just boom, just simple as that. So hope that this kind of just shows you how easy it is to actually use ZimmWriter to go and create content on the site. And now it's just kind of let this run all day in the background, and we will have our content will easily be coming over here and into the output folder. You can see we already have right here, which is the best time of right here. And so this one right here is actually, I'm going to have to trash this first article. This one shouldn't have been included because it just doesn't make any sense right here. So we will actually be trashing that first article. That happens. So I'm actually going to come in here and literally just push delete because we don't need that article at this point. I'll also come over here to the first one right over here, and it's just something that happens when you're doing this much keyword research at once and so forth, right? So I'm going to delete that one right there, and so forth, right? So that is it. I hope that this made sense. I hope that you guys got some value of this. Now it's just kind of, let's see what ends up happening with the site as we get more and more pages indexed and so forth. And I'll keep you guys posted on the progress. Any of the tools that I've been using, ZimmWriter, there'll be a link below as well. Awesome tool. And all the other AI writers that I've been using and the theme and so forth will all be underneath in the description. All right. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you next time.